I almost feel sorry for the guy. I really do, because what he was thrown into was an impossible situation in an impossible front office that made a lot of bad moves. They not on the roster. I mean, look, this is a roster, Murph, that should win or at least contend for a title, despite the fact that they had a lot of stupid mistakes last night. This is still a pretty good roster right now. But
Mm.
it's this goes back to something that you and I have not been in a conversation in, but I'll broach this now. I said after the Bruins got hacked in their loss to the Panthers were brilliant. I'd have fired Montgomery right there, because you built that team for him and he basically screwed it up. Mazzulla, nice guy,
Hmm.
never stole a freight train. I do the same thing with him. It's easier to get a coach in the NBA with the way they work than it is to worry about the players. Because if you eviscerate that Celtics roster right now, you're going to be paying for it for the next 3 years.
Yeah, yeah. They need to. And look, I agree with you. He seems like a good guy, and like I said, I think he does have potential, but he's not there. And this roster needs somebody that I think brings a discipline. I think that's a huge factor there. I don't think the Celtics have any discipline when it comes to, you know, taking the ball down the court, seeing how the play's developing, letting things unravel a bit, and reading what's in front of you. They just don't do that. They're always in a hurry to shoot a three.
Did you get the
And
same feeling I
it's, you
got
know, I was
last
sitting
night
there.
that in the first quarter and the second quarter? Did you get the same feeling that it was go up the court, let's try, let's see what works, let's throw something up there, let's just throw
Yeah,
this shit against the wall, and if it works, that's fine. I didn't see any plan last night. I didn't see any
there was no
plays at
plan.
work last night.
No, there was no plan. Ed, you know, it's like they think they're in a video game. I mean, you remember what was that basketball game when we were young? The NBA Jam, and all the guys. You
Oh
know, it
man,
was
you
all
are
about the
showing
shoot,
your age now, brother.
do the slam dunks. You know, just all the flashy stuff. That's what the Celtics are. They just love being all, you know, about the show and the entertainment. But when it comes down to it, they're not about winning. They're not about playing the basketball that you need to play to win. And that you need discipline to do that, and that comes from the top. And as
Well,
they
again,
say, bleep
and
trickles down.
that's
Bleep
the
trickles down.
cohesiveness of the coach. And I said this earlier in the week that Eric Spoelstra is the best coach in the NBA. Stop. I mean, I can hear people going Greg Popovich. I get it.
Period.
Pop's an excellent coach.
No.
But if you take what he did this year and what he has done in the past, look, Eric Spoelstra, when he got hired by the Miami Heat, I know people who are Heat fans going, who? This is the best we can do?
Right?
But Pat Riley's a pretty smart guy, and he must have seen something. So when you look at this series, much like the Bruins Panthers series, Paul Maurice outcoached Montgomery.
Mm.
Easy. From top to bottom, didn't even get close. Spolstra's a guy right here who completely outcoached, outthought, and outmaneuvered Joe Mazzulla in that key game 7. Did he have a few moments in 3 games? Yeah, he did. But in game 7, there was no doubt.
They made us get better. They made us get better. Last year was extremely painful. We thought about it all season long. And if you don't have an opponent like that to bring you to a different level, sometimes you don't get there.
There's the key. They made us better.
Mm.
They made us
Yep.
get better. And they did. But in this series, Mazzulla and the Celtics looked at the other side of the court or looked at the other bench, and it didn't make them be any better. I mean, to be honest, I'll tell you what, Murph, this probably should have been a sweep in many ways, because while the Celtics came back and won 3 straight, in my mind, that was just a letdown for the Heat. The Heat were the better team for every single one of those games. I know there's a blowout in there. I know people are going to say, everybody, look, you and I have been around sports long enough. We know that there are dips in what happens, whether it's on the ice, on the court, on the field, on the pitch, whatever it is. Okay, the Heat had the dips in there when they had a 3-point lead. They're walking around, the big guns. The Celtics, I still think the Celtics won those 3 games not because they were better than the Heat, because the Heat took the time off. I think the Heat had a dip, and that's why they lost those games.
I'm with you. I'm with you. And you know, the one thing I don't like about the Celtics too, and this goes back to it, is they into that game last night, Ed. It was almost like they thought they had already won the series. Like it was just a certainty that they were going to come out of it with a win there, and it was a given. And that happened a lot in this playoff run for the Boston Celtics. That happened a lot down their stretch run in the season, where this team just thought showing up was enough. Just showing up and getting on the court and throwing the ball around for a little and, well, let's get out of here. They're talented. They know it. And it's almost too bad how talented they are and how talented they think they are, because I think it translates into a lack of work ethic. And again, that goes to the coach as well.
See, but so how do you not have a work ethic when you're in the Eastern Conference Finals and your professionals being paid several $100 million? Where does that work ethic go? Because now this again comes down to do you fire Mazzulla? Do you players? Look, the coach can only do so much. And let me play this to you here, because there was a back and forth that went on last night after the game between Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley, where they talked about coaching. And I think that really sets up the focus of what the Celtics' problem is and why the Heat won this series.
I mean, I love listening to great coaches, because I think what they said, he says, you're not coaching it, but you're allowing it to happen.
He can't give you confidence, but he can take it away. I used to think Charles Barkley was one of the world's greatest assholes.
I don't
gotta be honest. I love him. Barkley's dead on in everything that he said.
Yeah, he is good. I hated him too growing up, but he's been great in his job there. Look, I agree with everything he says there, but I don't necessarily think that is completely the case with the Boston Celtics and with Mazzulla. I don't think Mazzulla has the power to take anything away from those players. I wish he did. I wish maybe he could take away their overconfidence, their attitude that I just referred to, where they think they just have to show up. I saw that too many times from this team, and it caught up to him again at the worst possible time. And I don't think
that's it, though, Murph.
He's the type of coach who can fill them in.
But that's the point. If you're a coach of any kind, Michael Jordan's going to get his points. LeBron James is going to get his points. You got to take the fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth guy down the bench, and you got to make him feel good, and you got to jack him up, and you got to make him feel like he's a world beater. I don't think Mazzulla's that guy. I don't think he can ever do that. I don't think he's got enough jack right now in the game to be able to do that.
Yeah, there was a quote, too, I thought was interesting, was Brogdon. I heard it this morning on the radio. I'm just paraphrasing, where he said, this team wasn't what I planned for, what I came here for. They were more about offense. And when I played against the Celtics, they were more about defense and hustle. He's just flat out saying, like, the coach did not deliver. I mean, he's just, this team is not what I came here for. That's not a good sign when a player in his first year is saying that after the first season. So,
see, that's my point. I don't think that while Mazzulla, again, he never stole a freight train, he didn't do anything bad, he hasn't broken any laws, but he was shoveled into a position where it was completely impossible for him to really succeed at all. He needs seasoning, man. He needs something. He needs to be able to be
you said it the best. He was a deer in headlights.
He needs, and here's what you're going to hear in the next couple of days, or the next few weeks. The Celtics are going to say, well, we're going to bring in some really good assistant coaches, and we're going to surround him with the people who can help him make decisions. That's not the key. You still have the guy at the top that has to engender confidence. And I honestly think that guys like Tatum and Brown, I don't think they have any confidence in this guy. It's like they walk out there on the court and say, hi, coach, let's go out and play a game today. Let's just throw something up here. And I think if they continue to allow that laissez-faire attitude to happen, this team's not going to go anywhere.